After swapping to Satyr, I'm left with one thing that I need to do, and that's farming legendary items to get my Essence Mastery up. And instead of AFK farming and holding spacebar with a bunch of Necro, you know what? Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do today, at least for half the video. So, in the spirit of trying to figure out what is the best farming method, I'm going to be AFK farming for an hour, and then also I'm going to put that up against loop farming for an hour. So, after I do both of these, we'll tally up our spoils, see how these methods compare, and then we can also compare them to a couple other methods that I've made other videos about. So those are also linked in the description. So generally when I'm playing Diablo, I do like to actually play the game. So I'm not one to AFK farm that much, especially since I'm already at the max gear level, but it is one of the most common methods of farming. Now, of course, if you are a Necro, then this will be much, much easier, probably better, but you can still do this as any other class. And there are a few things that you can do to make this even better if you're not a Necro. For instance, your legendary gems, if you have an Echoing Shade, a Void Spark, Storm Vault, or using either of those with a Wolf Heart can really help. Also, I don't recommend that you actually AFK for more than 1 to 2 minutes at a time if you're not a Necro, because the elite monsters can do a number on you. So I'm going to be doing my farming in World's Crown, and this is potentially one of the best farm spots. World's Crown in general seems to have the best AFK farms in the game. There are many, many around there. I don't know all of them though. But if you ask around a world chat, then you'll definitely find 2 to 3 happening at the same time around the map. And I, of course, this whole time am using Treasure Find and Greed, increase my chances for Legos and some more scrap. And then I have the Delaying the Inevitable, but it's really just because I like to see the streak go up. But the only thing that does is give a little bit more XP. So let's begin with the AFK farm. And here's a quick look at my bag. The only Lego I have is this Transfer Essence. I can't really get rid of it or store it. And then here's how much scrap, dust, gold I currently have. And then we'll check back after the hour to get the full numbers. Real quick before we move on with the video, I just want to mention that over 70% of you watching are not subscribed. So if you want to see more content like this, or if you enjoy the video, please make sure to subscribe down below. And make sure to give the video a like. Alright, so about 6 minutes in or so, I've gotten my first set of Monstrous Essence. I started out with, I think, 7, so this is not perfect, but let's see if we get a Lego, and we don't. So I'm gonna try my best to walk around every 5 or so minutes, and then every time I get 10 Monstrous Essence, I'm gonna turn them in so I can get as many Legos as possible. It's been about 8 minutes since the last time I ran around, but as you can see with the streak, this farm is very, very good for getting a high streak. And the only thing that really does is increase the amount of XP that we get, but I'm not really here for XP, although that is very nice. And as well, I'm going to be picking up all of these iron ore, or these ore nodes, because those also do give a little bit of scrap. As well, if you see these side quests that we get, these also will provide a little bit of extra rewards that you don't get somewhere in the Verge or wherever. And now we're over 1,000 streak. So that's kind of how you can tell, one of the ways that you can tell if a farm spot's good. And then also there's so many spots over here that can be elites, which helps. But since those first 2 Legos that I got earlier, I haven't gotten any. This is why you don't AFK for too long. Even a Necro. Oh, he's back. Let's go. Let's see. I guess he wasn't AFK for too long because he came back. Love to see it. We're almost at a 2K streak, but walk around now, see how many Monstrous Essence I can get. See how close I get to 10. Now, I don't have the tower that gives extra Monstrous Essence, unfortunately. So, that would make this a lot better. And we're at basically another full inventory, so let's get rid of that stuff. There's still only 2 Legos so far. The streak is still going. Alright, so we actually had somebody leave, which technically is going to be a little bit more accurate, because it's not always that you're going to find a full party for a full hour. But that will technically eat into our profits just a little bit. But we should be able to fill this real quick. Again, still no more Legos since the beginning. Alright, don't be like this guy, and when you leave, just leave your account here. Especially if you're a Necro. Because, see, look, now I'm not going to get the loot from any of these guys. Anything that spawns down here, he's going to beat me to, so don't be a nuisance. But this is where the Echoing Shade and Void Spark really shine, because my clones will go out here and kill these guys, as you can see. And then, even if there's both of these spawns here, then my Void Spark will spark all the way over to both of those guys. And then I'll be able to kill everything. Okay, this guy's Void Spark got those guys first. His Golem attacks these guys first. Like I said, don't be a nuisance. Okay, so now I have to actively play the game instead of AFK farming just to beat this guy. It's not that hard to just leave when you leave the party. But I'm gonna keep this in, and I'm not even gonna do another hour after this, because this is a common occurrence. It happens most every random AFK farm you find. So now we've got our 10 Monstrous Essence. We can go turn those in. Hopefully get a Lego. And nothing yet again. Forgot to change one of these essences. Oh, he took the yellow from us, but at least we got the quest. There's some more taken. Oh, is that a Lego? Is that a Lego? It is. Let's go. No, don't tell me. He took this treasure goblin. If I ever see this guy anywhere else, he's banned. So if you're ever wondering why I don't like Necros, it's because of this. Finally, he's gone. Hey, at least we got an Ancient Elite when that guy left. Give me a Lego. Wow. Alright, so we're coming up on the hour. So I'm just going to run around, collect all this stuff. And then, once I do that, we'll salvage one more time and see what the numbers are looking like. So I'm going to keep my character here in the meantime while I give you all the numbers, because I don't want to be a nuisance to my party like some other people do. But it's pretty disappointing. So we only got 978 scrap in this hour, 62 dust, and not even 100,000 gold, 96,000 gold. But what's even more disappointing is we only got 3 Legos. Again, this one I've had in here to transfer. 3 Legos in 1 hour. So if your goal is to get scrap or Legos, then you should not be AFK farming. This is, at least so far, the worst way that I've tested. And even though we were kind of like crashed by that Necro, the numbers aren't that close to anything else for me to want to really like try this again for an hour. He was only there for maybe like 20 minutes total before he logged out, and then that's not going to give us much more, because we didn't miss a crazy amount of the spots. And this is one of the better AFK farms, because we have all of these side quests. Our streak will continue to go up basically forever until someone gets moved out the way by an elite skill, like, you know, the storms or something. But we've gotten up to 9,999 here before the final verdict on AFK farming is it is not worth it, unless you simply just don't want to play the game and you want to make a little bit of progress, because it's only going to give you a little bit of progress. All right, so now we're going to move on to the looping section, and we're going to be over here in one of the better spots over here in Storm Point, running this loop. And then we're going to see how it stacks up against all the other methods, see if it's better than doing AFK farming and whatnot. And so here's a look at the runes prior, and then the scrap, dust, gold. And of course, I am still using the treasure find and greed in the Paragon. So let's bring over the timer, and let's begin. Okay, so I actually messed up the scenes in OBS when I was recording this, so there is no timer showing on the screen, but it is there on my screen. So sometimes I'll mention it, but that's why you can't see it. Oh yeah, Ancient Elite right off the bat. And a Lego. Okay. Nice. That's what we love to see. Give me those goblins. Another Ancient Elite in 3 minutes? What's going on? Didn't get a Lego from him, though. Also, if you want to keep your streak while you salvage, just make sure you attack something like an Elite. Because you're not going to kill them in one shot unless your skills are up. And then boom. You can salvage, do whatever. Keep your streak going. Almost at 2,000 streak, but that is in Monstrous Essence. I think it was more like 8 or 9, because I think I had a couple before I started. And we get, ooh, a double. Let's go. So, technically, this is already better than the AFK farm, but we'll have to put like a caveat on a lot of these rates, because I have been getting pretty unlucky for the most part with the Monstrous Essence. So I guess I'll show you like a full loop, because there is one thing that you can do to kill a few more monsters every time you make one loop, and potentially some extra elites. So when you're making your way towards the bottom part, right around here, when you kill these guys first, then you can come over to this side, and then by the time you walk back, the second group will spawn, and that can be a new set of elites or anything right there. So it's good to make sure you can double back on those guys. Nice. There's a lot of treasure goblins in this area. That's why part of the reason I like this loop farm. Well, let's go another ancient. Hey, and he drops a Lego. We'll take that. Oh, let's go another ancient. And another Lego. Oh yeah, don't ever do this side quest right here. It takes way too much time. If you're in a group, you can do it. Alright, 2,000 kill streak. Just got another 10 Monstrous Essence. Let's see if we're lucky. And we are. We get some shoulders. Love to see it. So about 30 minutes in, we've already got how many? We've already got 8 Legos. So business is booming. That's all I gotta say. That I feel like this is kind of the high end, because I did get a lot of ancient elite spawns. 1 right off the bat, and then 2 within quick succession. So I think what I'm gonna do is on each of the final verdicts, final stats pages, I'm gonna put how many Legos in like a range. So instead of saying I only got 3 from AFKing, I'll put like between 3 to 5, because I also did get unlucky with my Monstrous Essence. So you could do the same thing and get 5 very easily without any crazy luck. Go another Ancient Elite, and I'll use this opportunity to salvage. Damn. No Lego. Oh, well, we get one from the blues. Alright, there's another 2,000 kills and another 10 Monstrous Essence. Let's make our way back. And we get another Lego. Let's go. Guess we can also check how many Legos we're at about 42 minutes. 9 Legos. So we are already beating out the Abyssal Verge 1k point runs, which is good to know, because this is what I did to get all of my gear to rank 30. Half of it was in this exact loop. We got another Lego from a white monster this time. Oh, and you see back there, we got a rune. me empty my inventory. There we go. There's the gray rune. There's the Lego. There's the last cultist. Ooh, and a treasure goblin. See, this place just rocks. So many treasure goblins here. It's part of the reason why I love this place. So that's another 2,000 kills, and another 10 monstrous essence. Let's see if we're lucky. Nothing. But how many Legos are we at? With about 5 minutes left, we're at 10. Alright, we are coming up on the end, so I'm gonna do this last lap a little slower just to make sure I pick up everything, so I don't have to walk around again. But that is the hour. So I'm just gonna go back to the safe zone. I do not have 10 monstrous essence, of course, but let's do one final salvage. We ended up getting 10 legendary items. We got 1 gray rune, believe it or not. And then we got 2,020 scrap, which that beats out everything as well. We got 143 dust, which again beats out everything. 185,000 gold, again beats out everything. Now for the Legos, I got 10, as I said earlier, but I got pretty lucky, I'll say. So, like I said, I'm gonna put all of these in like a range. So I'm gonna say 10 plus or minus 2, because I feel like you could definitely do the same thing and get 8, and you wouldn't necessarily be like unlucky. And you know, if I got one more Lego from one of those ancients and my monstrous essence gave me 1 extra Lego, then I easily could have gotten 12. So I think 10 plus or minus 2 Legos is a good number for this. So again, I will say this is probably the best loop right here in Stormpoint. There is one that is also very, very good over here in Mount Zav, but sometimes, you know, if you're doing this solo, you can be faster than the spawns of the monsters. It seems like if you are in a group, the monsters will spawn a little bit quicker, but so this is another place that I used to do all of my looping, coming around here just like this. Like I said, this place might be the best loop farm, so results may vary if you're doing this in other spots. I do have a few different places listed in my Discord if you're interested. So effectively, you can do Verge runs or loop farming and get pretty similar outcomes, although loop farming will be better in terms of dust. Like, that's just undeniable. It's almost double the amount of dust. But again, didn't get as many runes. I kind of got unlucky when I did Verge, so I'll say it's even the same exact amount of legendaries, 10 plus or minus 2. So how does this stack up against AFK farming? Well, it's basically double the dust, basically double the scrap, more than double the Legos. So I would not recommend doing AFK farms unless you just genuinely cannot play the game at whatever point and you just need something to do to make a little bit of progress, because that's all you're going to get is a little bit of progress. And now I know for a fact how much better looping in Stormpoint is. And again, I was in probably one of the better AFK farms over in World's Crown. So take that as you will. So now, if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. You can also support the channel for 99 cents, and I'll feature you at the end of every video. And you get some access to a few other perks. More on that in the description. As well, please join my Discord for more information on things you've seen in this video and just many, many other things in the game. I've tried to put as much info as possible on that Discord. So it's kind of like a little wiki / information hub, if you will. So let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see, if you have any questions about anything in the game, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.